Yo, live trading. Let's make sure. Okay, we're gonna do it this way. All right, cool. Yeah, we just in here live. We ain't gonna be in here long. Probably about like a hot 40 minutes. Um, but right now we got the market right here. Got our contract size ready. We risking 10% per trade because literally, if I risk anything less, we wouldn't even be able to put size on our contract. So it is what it is. We got our ATR. We on the 30-second time frame, so our ATR is based on the volatility over the last hour. So right now we sitting on 3 candles. I say 3 candles. 3 contracts. I'm going to put in a max risk of 200. Automatically apply risks as profit bracket to new positions. So this is like a worst case scenario, like if it spiked against us. 200. Switch to auto OCO. Cool. So that's that, because our risk is 200 per trade. So we're looking at 3 contracts. So here we are, 3 contracts. MNQ. Everything looking good. Oh, I gotta make sure my hotkeys are set up too, because I'll definitely be trying to get some going and then all of a sudden them hotkeys ain't set up. So we got buy market B, sell market S, flatten is F, up and down. So buy, sell, F, up, down. Cool. Look like everything looking good. Up, down. There we go. Buy, sell, flat. Alright, well, everything's set up for the most part. 3, sitting around 14, so we're going to be sitting around basically 3 contracts for the most part. It's pretty much what we got going on. So at this point, we'll kind of just do a market recap. So far I've opened. We had got our first, well, that pushed up, so we would have left that alone. The hour pushed up. If it pushed down, it could have traded that off for open, but it didn't, so we not. Let's see. Nothing really happened down here. Like we ain't had no trade so far today at all. Nothing caught our eye. Came down to continuity, pushed up, drop, pushed up. Nah, nothing really. Nothing that was important happened down here. Then we pushed up. We went green. Might have had a little baby trade up here. Probably wouldn't have done much though, I don't think. Came up here, we pushed up. Boom, boom, boom. Didn't pull back yet, still waiting. Looks like we had a nice little trade come in here. Basically could have taken this one right here. Taking it. Held, boom, 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 boom. Stopped out here. Pretty much would have, well, I mean, technically that would have been take profit. This one would have been stop out. So it would have stopped out. We didn't cross above back here again, so man, could take it again if you want to, but I'll probably wait for it to pull back because it's a little choppy. All discretion, just kind of getting our eyes ready for the market, that's all. And nothing so far down here. Let's go back to yesterday. That's real ugly and choppy. Let's look at this one, because this was pretty much where the market closes at. Alright, what do we have going on here? So boom, we pulled down here, we came, boom, boom, we closed higher here, but then it closed higher here. Could say that we started absorbing right around here. Oops. Started absorbing right around here, so we keep going up, but we don't close above it, which is good. We're just waiting for a nice clean absorption, or engulfing candle. Had this one here. You could have called it on this one or this shooter. The shooter would have been pretty clean. This one not clean. You really want to see it to go on both sides. The candle take up the entire. So if the candle doesn't take up the entire previous candle, or has the capability of taking up the entire previous candle, it's usually not one. But this one took up the entire of the previous, and then this shooter also did. So, you know, stop loss up here and take it down. Boom, 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 boom. Hold it here, boom. So yeah, we would have gotten out our first half right here. Then we would have continued to write it down some more. Boom, boom. Yeah, then that's pretty much the bottom anyway. So we pretty much got the meat out of that trade. We sold the heaviest down in the meat. So yeah, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Came back up for a retest, but looked like we didn't catch that. Then it retested again. We didn't catch it. Let's see. Came down. Boom. Yep, didn't catch that one either. So that's pretty much for that hour. So beginning of the hour happened. Nothing here. Nothing here. Like something maybe slightly happened there up here. Yeah, so nothing crazy. Chopped the arm around, then it finally dropped down. Had this one, nice drop twice. That's pretty cool. So yeah, it's pretty much going on. Will the price come back down enough? I don't know. Let's go and look at our rules. Keep in mind, we are trading for fun. Trading until a green day. That's basically we doing everything. We trade until we go green. And the good thing about it is we still got access to our practice account. So the whole point is really to get into the practice account, but we'll trade a live account first. And then we'll go from there. But every day, once we go green on a day, we done. Then after that, like if we still trading again before our next period, then we'll just trade trade the practice account. So that's pretty much what's going on here. The goal of all of this is just to put as much reps in, as much practice in. That's pretty much what we're trying to do here. So while that's still hovering, what I could actually do is while we back test, I'm gonna set a price alert. It might close up high though, cause when we about to get our next hour flip in 1 minute. So it's about to close high, which means we're not gonna have no trades for the next hour anyways. So we gonna be pretty much done trading here. We don't gonna have no trade for the next hour. Yeah, we done. So we don't got nothing for the next hour, no setups at all. So we'll just be back testing but for the next kind of 30-ish minutes, and then we'll get off the charts because we don't have no trade. So yeah, we'll just kind of be looking at these previous ones. Actually, we would try to forward test. Well, I ain't gonna be able to forward test which we call it, but what we'll do is we'll look at the previous day and we'll just kind of go through the trades from the previous day. So we opened up higher, so no trades there. We dropped down. So as we drop down here, boom, 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 we ran all the way, then it pulled back. We never had an entry here. We might have had something here. Let me see. Yeah. Not really. Kind of like to see it close above. If it don't really close above, it don't really count for me. I'm not gonna lie. If it's not a clean like close above the candle, it's really not significant enough for me to actually really care about it. Like as far as like a quality filter, if we gotta kind of guess like, is this or is this not? Like this is obvious, you know what I'm saying? Obviously it don't apply to what we're looking for, but see, that's an obvious close. If it don't close obvious like that, it's really not worth it. Like look at this one, perfect example. This one was an obvious close above, which means this is aggressive enough for it to be obvious. That's perfect. Now all we gotta do is we gotta wait for the engulfing. This is a doji engulfing, no entry. No engulfings after this. Boom, we pop back up. We go out of the zone here. Now I did hold high key, even though I would get out of here. That wick was very appealing to me. But we also again didn't have no engulfing kind of until we got here. And then you held, and then we would have closed right back above with slightly a break even. So, I did like how I held this though. I'm not gonna lie. So then we come along here, then we drop back down into our zone again. So we drop down, pop back up. Usually I don't like that because it's chopping, so we leave it alone. Chopping, boom, we drop down in here again. Chop, nope. We come back down here again. Doop, doop, close above. This one doesn't close above, we leave it the fuck alone, get out the way. We're not trying to chase trades, like literally trading this high, you know, over risk per trade and all this shit, because we really trade, even though they say you have a 50K account, in real life you can only lose 2K, so you really only have a 2K account because your max drawdown is 2K, so you blow the account at 2K loss. So even though they market 50K account, it's really a 2K account. So you really, in order for us to even be able to put on enough contracts for us to be able to even do something with it, got to be at least risking 10% per trade on this 50K account, you know. We get to, I think we got what? I think it's 2K you can risk. Now I think the combines go, what, 3K and then 45 or some shit like that. At 45, I guess at that point you can risk like 5% per trade, still be kind of trading what we trading at with it. So I guess that's better for longevity in the account, you know. I'm about to double check right quick. We can't trade anyway, so I don't, you know. Let me see, top step. Let me just turn my shit off just in case right quick. Give me a second. Give me like 3 seconds. I am streaming. Why do I have to log in every time? Oh, okay, good. Let's see. Started trading combine. Standard. I'm about to show y'all right quick right now. Alright, cool. Y'all shouldn't see no crazy shit on here. I don't know how them streamers do it, bro. Alright, here we go. Okay, so the max loss is 300. I'm going straight to the. So once we get this shit passed, I'm going straight to, you know, the 150K, because, you know, we're trying to actually like make this shit happen immediately. So 4,500. That's better than a 2,000. That's twice and 500. So really quickly, yeah. So basically, we can basically double, or we can cut our risk by half to keep the same position sizing that we do now. So like I'll be able to do 5% risk per trade, which will actually be better for us, because it'll give us less ability to, you know, blow the account actually. It'll make our risk better. Ideally, you want to be risking 2% or less per trade. I heard 1.5% is good, 1.6% is good. 2% or less is the industry standard. I've actually heard, I forgot the guy's name, one of the top traders talking about wealth building is at like 4% risk per trade. So even like to be able to risk 5% per trade is pretty decent. Now I'm not going to lie. Right now we're like, the most important thing is seeing what the volatility be like around. See, this is what's going on here. Well, volatility is like around this New York shit. You know what I'm saying? So it jumps up to 23.7-ish. So I'm going to quickly play with our numbers. So like as high as 23. Sometimes it might be higher than that. 23. Yeah, usually gets around 23. Yep. Look like every day is around 20. There's some crazy shit happen. So 23, look like we averaging 23 every time New York opens. So worst case scenario, if we had 23 ATR, 2 ATR, we're going to increase this by 2,500. So we're going to do 2.5, which makes us a 4,500, risking $450 per trade. And then obviously we would want to at least try to cut this in half to 5%. So 225. So yeah, we'll be able to trade, you know, for the most part. Worst case scenario, we'll be able to trade the New York Open with 2 contracts, give or take, you know. So that kind of that looks like it works out. Now obviously we look like we wouldn't be able to do it at all with the 2K account, but you know, hey, it is what it is. So drop this back to 14, and we'll probably play and finagle with numbers, whatever the case is. But you know, that's neither here nor there. Now, honestly, what I would do is I'd probably still risk 10% per trade in the actual 150K combine, and then what I would do is I would drop it to 5% once we get into the live account. Still be trading the exact same, but you're trading with less risk, right? Because honestly, if you just traded 1%, if you did 1% a week, if you compounded 1% a week, you know, I think what the bare minimum would have 52% return, which obviously the compounding would be great, so probably like 70%, some crazy shit like that or more. But let's just say if we actually weren't compounded, if you just gained 1% a week, you would be returning, you know, 52% a year, which is 40% more than the average, you know, return thing. So you don't need to have these fucking 5%, you know, risk per trade and all that. First of all, you risk blowing your account, and I mean that the whole point of trading is last long enough for your edge to play out. So this is strictly for combine shit, you know. There's nothing really we could do, because even though they say we got a 50K account, we really don't. So, you know, it is what it is. Well, let's go back to 50K, and that's that. And we're gonna do 10% there. Whoa. There we go. So we're risking 200, and then we should be back to 4 contracts. Oh, you know what? Watch this. There we go. All right, cool. So that's pretty much what's going on. We could just continue to back test for now, because like I said, we do not have a trade for this hour, because our hour candle closed higher. So that means we can't do shit with that. You dig? So yep, cool. Pull back. I don't even. Oh, you know, I had to scroll back a few. Well, looks like we're watching this now. So the market's been down. So like we've really been having no green trades. Market's been going down good though. It's look good. From what I understand, red trades are better to trade, because usually green trades take its time to go up and red trades just drop. Red days just drop. So, oh, went too far back anyways. Can't even come back this far. All right, cool. Gotta go back to where our volume shows up at. There we go. Well, we'll start from around here. So, market opened up higher. Looks like it's been opening up higher. Fuck, if you bet money on the market opening up higher, shit, you might make money off that alone. 27. So this starts at yesterday, which I think wasn't we just looking at yesterday. So cool. Close higher. We don't take that trade, even though it came down. So what? We're looking for quality, not anything. All right, here we go. We close down below, which means our hour close lower, which means that we're in a downtrend, right? We red on a day, and our hour is also red at this moment. So we have the best selling pressure behind us. Now all we have to do is look for absorption from the big guys. So come up. We come up here. So that's an obvious close above. So obviously we got some limit shit going on right here. So we can look short until we close above. We end up closing above. So this is null and void. We come to this candle. Nothing happens, no absorption. It retests and it drops down. Amazing drop. We missed the shit. So be it. Yeah, this would have been a beautiful trade. There's nothing we can really do about that, you know? We pulled back down, came up, and then we retested. We pulled down again. I guess you can kind of look for the yeah. So we look like we would have been able to get in here. So let's see. Boom. Not that much of an obvious close above. Not going to lie. Come up here. Obvious close above here. Obvious close above this candle. Boom. So as long as we hold, boom, we reject. So this is a perfect example of an actual resistance level here. It's actually a resistance level here, right? Then boom, then we get the trigger here. So we would have entered the trade right in here, because this is a bearish engulfing candle. So we entered here. Initial stop losses here. Obviously we got our bracket order that'll be like 2 point, that'll be what you call it, 2x the ATR. So from here it'll be 12 point something. Yeah, about 12. Whoa, okay. No, I'm trying 24. So yeah, 24. So our like max loss would be somewhere up in here. So even if we closed right here, we wouldn't actually be risking the entire 10%. We'd probably be risking more. Like if it closed right here, we'd be risking more like 5% on this trade. So that's the way I like to trade, which is pretty cool. But yeah, anyway, so boom, we enter here, then it immediately drops. Boom, so our stop loss drops to here. Then on this next candle, our partial takes here, and we leave our stop loss here, right? So this is our break even stop loss, basically, you could say. And boom, now we here, now we here, now we here, now we here. So we're trailing, still holding the position the entire time. And then eventually we cross over here, so I would sell my first half of the contract here. Then I will move up to the next highest resistance level. Then we'll sell another half here. Then I move up to the next highest resistance level. Then we hold it. See, the support is there's some real shit now. It held again. It held again. Then it closed above. So we'll sell it. Go to our next highest resistance level. Boom. Then it starts to drop back down from this resistance level. Drops back down. So then when it drops down, this is new territory. So then we'll come in here. Then boom, we'll sell off here. Then I come in here with it. Boom. Then it closes above. So we'll pretty much sell off until we get all the way back up to closing above our break even, if we're still not holding on contracts. If not, we sold the heaviest low and then we sold incrementally back up. So that's what I like. Now imagine, for instance, if you were trading some shit like a 1 to 2. Would you have made money? Absolutely not. Right? Unless you were trading a 1 to 2 based off of the entry candle and your stop loss was immediately behind that, but you could get wicked out all the time. So is that a smart idea? I think not. But I mean, it would have worked in this instance. But I don't trade like that. I don't trade statics, because you can have breakout trade, or whatever the case is, or we got break even trades as well, right? Because sometimes you can tell when the trade's not going to continue to go in your favor. But hey, who am I? What did I just do? There we go. Okay, what did I just do? No, nothing. I didn't do anything. Okay, cool. Anyway, so boom, we do that. We come back up to this level here. We retest. Boom, when we retest, do we have an obvious pullback? No, we don't. No, we don't. Nothing here. This is one. All right, so we got something coming over here. Do we hold? We hold, but we do not have a candle that is larger than the previous candle, so it's bullshit. That's bullshit, Zay. So then we come up here. Boom. Drop down, drop down, drop down, drop down. Nothing obvious until we get to this candle. And then obvious close with this candle. That's pretty cool. Here we held. But we didn't take over both ranges of the candle, so it's not really engulfing for real. You want both sides to take across the entire candle. Ideally, that is the perfect engulfing. So if it doesn't do it, I don't give a fuck. We're not taking it. We got to take high probability trades. Okay. Of course, it reverses, whatever the case is. So that's that. Come here, drop down here. Nothing for real. Come up again. Blah blah blah. Boom. Drop down here. No obvious retracements. Beautiful trade though. No obvious retracements, so it's nothing for us to get into. Well, until down here, maybe we can get into some down here, right? So let's see. Boom. Come here. Boom. We get the close above here, but we don't hold. Engulfing here. I don't know. So what we have or have not, I don't really fucking know. I wonder if what's the you know what? Since we are doing research, this is what I'm gonna do here. I don't know. I don't know. I guess not. Nah. Nope. Fuck it. It don't count. It don't count. It don't count. Bigger than the previous one, right? Yeah, it was. Obvious, yeah. It is bigger than the previous one. It's pretty obvious. I'm not, we just go for shits and gigs, take it, but boom, boom, boom. I can't even tell. Yeah, that don't matter anyways. Close above here, so half. Break it up to the next one, which would be right here basically. Then right here, then right here, then it drops more. Boom, boom, boom. Beautiful trade. Boom, boom. Still held. Still held, still held, still held, still held. And that's why I do it like the way I do it. Because that's beautiful as shit. Alright. We'll go back to a clean slate. This back testing shit is actually therapeutic, as it's going to help us form our rules. It's basically like taking multiple trades. Okay, boom, we come in here. Come here, boom, boom. Not obvious, don't like it. Drop down, come here. Obvious, close above, nothing. It drops down. Get our first pullback coming in. Do we have anything here? Close above, it does. Does it come back down and drop here? Yes, it does. We out of it until we get another retest. All right, boom. Then we got this next one. So basically the reason why I stopped looking after this is because I give myself, from the retest, I give myself a thing and then a pullback. A pullback is any counter trend close against the current trend candle. Long story short, if our trend candle is white, the second we get a close above the white candle, in any previous, like, you know, white candles or resistance, whatever the case is, then we that'll count as a pullback, then it comes below. Now, to be honest, objectively speaking, it didn't actually clearly close above, but it got close enough to what, you know, it made an actual structure, like a dome. It kind of stalled out a little bit, and then it dropped back down. And then at that point, it extended too much for me. I'm not gonna lie. So it kind of created enough to where you could be like, this could be a swing low, right? And that's all that mattered. Now, if it was kind of like, this one even count too. If it was kind of something like this, and then it kind of moved sideways and then dropped again, then not, but how it kind of came up and then it curved, I'm cool off of it. And we extended too much from this, so the risk to reward is not that great for me, honestly. Because the higher that we move away, the higher it feels the ATR of the hour, which means the higher chance of us pulling back. So I usually want to take trades as close up to here as possible. But if the structure is looking good, then and we had a nice pullback like right in here, I would have taken it. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, besides the point. Cool. So we have, and everything is personal preference. That's all trading is personal preference. That's why you do this shit for fun. You get good at it. You use the money and you put it into long term anyways. You know what I'm saying? All we're doing is finding ways to make income out the market, no matter what market it is. Day trading, income, swing trading, crypto, futures, no matter what it is, you take that money, you be profitable, you store it into your long term anyways, because the long term is how you actually sit on your ass and do nothing. You know, trading is cool, trading is fun and all that, but at the end of the day, we want to be able to do other things. We want to be able to, you know, live your life for free, have pure freedom to live your life. Now, if you're making, you know, $1 million a year in passive income and then you still want to trade, then fuck all, hey, you know, do you. If you just love, you know, candlesticks that much. Don't get it wrong, I love candlesticks, but, you know, there's other things outside in this world besides candlesticks. Anyways, beside the point. So boom, come in here. Nice close, I'm not gonna lie. Decent close, take it here. You can say it's about what and what. Take it, shooter, repelled off it, not gonna lie. Nice one. Take it, boom, 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 boom. Here with it. Boom, boom, boom. Get out of there, cool. Out of there, cool. Wait for a retest. The retest happens. We drop back down again. Let's see if we get anything. Nothing. Pull back, nothing. All right, cool. Nothing here because it closed above. I'm probably about to do a few more, then we go hop off. Just letting y'all know. Boom, nothing here, obviously. We come down here. Close below. Obvious close above here, which means we held this level, which means anything below here would be an absorption. As long as we don't close back below here. So basically, as long as we get in absorption between here and here, we can take it, right? So this is our level of, which we'll call that. This is our supply level. So we basically created a supply level here, right? That's basically what we created here. So we're looking for an engulfing within the supply level here before we drop back below. That's what we're doing, right? So we created us a little box, and we're looking for an entry within this box. So boom, we come up here, nothing. This is a doja. I don't like that shit. This is not bigger than that candle, or it's not obvious enough. We come here, this is not obvious. This is that I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty decent. You could take this. It's about one, but the body is nice, so we get a shooter, then the body is nice on it. I personally would have taken this. I'm pretty sure I would have. So you can come here with it, take it, boom. If not, this would have definitely been another one. So taking it here. This would have been the last candle to get into anyways. This is an obvious engulfing. Beautiful candle. So you take this candle here, because it's the obvious one. So we're not even gonna take this one, even though majority. I'm even have to get better at defining my rules of what's an engulf. I'm not gonna lie, you know, because you could say is this body bigger than the last body, or is it's definitely relative, but it's also context too, because like this shooter and then a nice candle, it's like usually, you know what I'm saying, even though they might be relatively the same, the fact that it's a shooter and then a nice full candle is also like a nice entry. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna lie. Something like a doji, even though this doji is bigger, I still wouldn't take that, because it's still a doji candle to me. This one, if we had a candle that was more uncertain like this, because it's not a full like candle, but if it was big enough to where it took over the last one, then okay, you know. So if we have a candle that's not as clean as this one, if it's more like this one, then at that point we'll want it to be a full engulfing, right, for more confluence. But if it's pretty much within the same, you know, or bigger, and it's a full candle, then that's a clean candle. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of how I'm looking at this shit. So anyways, boom, we get in here, stop loss here, whatever, entry here, stop loss, take it, boom, 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 boom. In profit, this is our break even / stop loss. In profit, in profit, in profit, in profit, in profit, in profit. Sold our first half here. So now we gotta find, boom, sold our next half here. Okay, now we here with it, boom, or whatever, something like that. And then boom, 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 boom. We still held here, boom, boom, boom. Ooh, yeah, this trade ran. This fucking trade ran like a motherfucker. Oh my God, look how, oh my God, boom, 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 boom. This is why you trade with the trend. Okay, boom, set our next half here. Then we gotta find a resistance level above here. So our next half here. Gotta find a resistance level above this one, which would be here. Then we sell down again. So we sell down here, boom, boom. Sell down here, sell another half here. Then we gotta come up here, then boom, then boom, then boom, then boom. Sold up here, what's above this one? Boom, sold up here, etc., 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 right? Until you just trail it all the way up or down or whatever the case is. But by us having our stop all the way up here, we can capture as much as we can in here, right? Now by selling half, we're gonna start selling the majority out probably within this first leg, so we'll be having stragglers. So usually we're not going to be catching the whole day, but as long as we catch a good enough trade, especially like to where this one, this would be like one of them outlier days where it'll really carry you. You know what I'm saying? So overall, as you can see, I don't think we have actually had a losing trade yet. FYI, I don't think we've actually had a losing trade yet. How much time do I have? 10 minutes. I might look at one. I'm gonna look at this last hour. Yeah, I'm gonna do this last hour anyway, because it come back up and then we out of here. So it's a perfect ending. This was meant to happen. This was meant to be. God aligned it for us to look at this last hour for trades. It was ordained by God Himself for us to look at this. All right, cool. We drop down. No obvious closes. No obvious pullbacks yet. Then boom, we kind of start getting our first pullbacks here. So this counts. If we close below this point before we get the absorption here, we out of there. So we close above, nothing. This is not obvious for real. See what I'm talking about? See how this one's not that, clean looking. I would kind of want to be, higher. It's about one wet, but it's more of a consolidation candle to me than anything. Boom, boom, boom. This is a clear cut bearish engulfing. See, the only problem is this one closed above, so you can kind of take this one. You can say that it held here, especially because of how I rejected that hard. It did reject hard, so you could be like, all right, cool. As long as we don't close above here, I'm looking for a bearish engulfing. So we take none of these bearish engulfs because none of these are clear cut. This one is a perfect clear cut, like perfect candle, right? Take this perfect candle, boom, trail, boom, we hold, we wait, it pull back a little bit, trail. Sell our first half here, boom, perfectly. We here with it, so now our stop is basically here with it. then come up higher again, trail again, then come up higher again, then boom, we hold, boom, boom, and then hold. So see, y'all realize that people like sit through all this. So like when these candles, I don't trade like that, right? I used to trade like that, and then when these candles start going against you, you know how like you have that feeling like I think it's about to reverse here, and then it usually ends up reversing against you, right? So you end up like, imagine if you're like if your profit target is right here, and you don't hit it, and then you reverse against this, right? But then you don't take no profit because you're like, it's going to reverse in this. You don't know what the hell the market's going to do. You need to react to or respond to the market as quickly as possible. So if all of a sudden, if we're moving down, we're supposed to be moving down, and then we get a sign of, if we're moving strength, so if we're down to the downside, I mean, we're getting strength to the downside. If we get green to the upside, that's showing weakness within our downtrend, right? So that means if we're getting weakness against if we're getting, weakness in our trend, that means we need to start taking off risk, right? Because the whole point of trading to be successful and profitable is to take care of risk. So if our move is starting to have weakness within the move, then we need to start taking off risk because it's getting weak. If it's getting weak, if the position is looking weak, we need to start taking off risk. Why would we keep risk inside of a weak looking position? And as it did, it never came back down to this point ever again. It never ever came back down here again before stopping us out. It never came back down. So your profit would have never gotten hidden, and then you would have got stopped out. You would have been like, oh, trading sucks, and all that extra shit, right? So that's why we don't, move like that at the end of the day. Yeah, you might not hit your crazy bangers and all that, but we're looking for a nice, easy, consistent profit. So that's why we about to stick to this shit. We about to just put in the trades, put in the time. We're going to be back testing, making this shit happen, making this shit, putting in as much reps as possible, because I do genuinely believe that this can be a profitable strategy. So we're going to just keep taking our time, testing it, playing with risk, testing it. Because honestly, I think the biggest thing between this shit is going to be playing with risk and testing it. Because for the most part, it looks like I'm not saying this. Honestly, I'm not saying this shit a perfect strategy or nothing. That's why I give all of my resources away for free in the description down below if you want it, right? I'm about to actually make sure I put that in the description right now, but I give all my resources away for free. So y'all watching this with me together. We doing this shit together at the end of the day. I believe that, it can work, but at the end of the day, until we put out 100 to 1,000 trades in, we don't know jack shit, So I'm sure you got a real raw truth to trading that motherfuckers will not show you, and that's just what it is. Now, if you want some guaranteed shit that's gonna work, check out the link in the description down below. If you want to learn how to, make passive income from stock investing, I got you the whole blueprint. I've been studying that shit for 4 years. I mastered that shit. That's what I'm using to trade money from Top Step with 5 copy traded accounts. If I can get even a bare minimum of 10% return, even though, like we said, we compounded even 1% a week, 50% return on what a fucking if we risking. We was risking what, 400 per trade. So if we're risking 400 per trade times 5, that's $2,000 even. So damn, no, that's 5% though. That's 5%. So yeah, let's just say that's 2,000. If we can make what, an extra 2,000 a month, something like that. I guess I don't know. My math might be wrong. My math might be. Oh my fucking god! I can't even speak, gang. I can't even talk. I don't think we're just gonna leave that shit alone, gang. We gonna leave it alone, bruh. We gonna leave it alone. We just gonna call it a day with that one. Pop back up, boom, nothing. Pop back up, nothing. All right, cool, and then it's over with. So overall, back testing actually went pretty good. I'm ready to live test. Like I said, all this shit don't matter until we live in the field. All this shit don't matter. Only thing we doing is getting reference points. To just see how we want to take the trade. The back testing is not to see if this shit will work or not. Back testing is simply to see what our game plan is when we go live. Live is whether the shit work or not. Nothing don't fucking matter until you go live. We here, boom, boom. I know our stuff's gonna be done, but I'm just kind of addicted to all this winning, bro. I'm not gonna hold you. Pop back up. We don't close above, and then we close above here, so we out of there. I don't think I see nothing that I liked in here. I did not. Then we come back down here. Perfect. Actually, this is fucking beautiful. This is a perfect fucking setup. Perfect setup. This shit, it has not been losing, FYI, by the way, just letting y'all know. I don't know if y'all realize that yet, but we have not lost jack shit yet. So anyways, boom, we come down here, we pull back here, then look at this fucking massive giant fucking dildo candle. But guess what? This close above, volume does not. Then boom, we get our bearish engulfing candle. Trail, close above, next highest trail, which is right here. Boom, then we trail here again. I'm not gonna keep moving it, but we trail here again. Nothing yet. We hold it, we capture here, and then we capture here, but this brings us all the way back out to stop, right? So this type of shit happens, and you gotta be aware of it. That's why I have my emergency $200 risk based on, well, we have our emergency hard stop, because you never know when stupid shit like this go happen, right? So 10 ATR, so 20 ATR, so yeah, and also like shit like that, when you get, like when you have these candles and all that. Oh no, actually we got in here, I'm tripping. We got in here 20 ATR. Let's see. So we actually we hit our we actually ended up hitting our, yeah, okay. So this candle actually ended up coming up and hitting our max stop loss, FYI. So that happened. That definitely happened. But yeah, so pretty much that's what we got going on. 10.27, so it would have been what, 20.40. Either way we hit. Yeah, either way we don't, So yeah, shit like this happens. You got to be 100% aware of that. But like I said, the good thing about it is, unlike y'all motherfuckers that's playing fixed risk and all that shit, well, even if you had a 1 to 2 or whatever the case is, you still would have got smashed, right? Because you would have never hit your target if you was at 1 to 2. But unlike me, we started selling off half up in here. So we already got off what, our position how many times? Sold our position one time. Let me see. Sold our position off 1 time, 2 times, and then so we already got off what, 75% of our position was gone within the first 2 sales, which is really good, because the longer the trade goes, the higher your chance of the trade reversing against you. So by us getting off 75% of our position within the first 2 sales, this shit doesn't hurt us at all whatsoever. That's why I trade this fucking way. That's why we're testing this fucking way. That's why I'm trying to put in 100 to 1,000 trades within this specific strategy, because this shit just make too much fucking sense. So we gonna let the market tell us if this shit makes sense, and if it do, then we got us another income source. Well, a consistent income source, because we can fucking make a trade in the wall right now and make some money, but is it consistent? We'll find out next time on stream, because we ain't doing it tonight, y'all. But I'm about to link that shit in the description for y'all. If y'all want all my resources, my risk calculator, how I do this, my risk calculator, if you want my rules, and if you want how my strategy set up and all that extra shit, go to the link in the description down below. I'm about to have it down there right now. And if you want to learn how to actually invest, take this money. If you're already making money trading, whatever the hell you got going on, making money from a business, whatever the case is, and you want to learn how to use that shit and use your money to make you money. Because at the end of the day, no matter what, if you work in a business, you still working for a business. You still growing your business. You want to have your money make money for you to what? If you wake up, you decide every day whether you work. You decide every day whether you put your passion in. You decide every day what the fuck you do. If you want to learn how to do that, if you want to learn how to make passive income from stock investing, click the link in the description and go check that shit out, man. It'll change your life. I'm gonna fuck with y'all in the next video.